Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For this selection, or this time around, I'm going to use the Thelema Tarot for the tarot part. There was more information. At the bottom here is there's a website. So I think it's Los Garibo. I'm not good with pronouncing things. I feel like it's quite obvious to people who watch a lot. But there's the spelling, because if you want to find it or get more information, go ahead, go on there and check out whatever you want to check out. I don't recall last time I was on that site, so it could be some cool stuff. Supportive Oracle Cards, Spellcasting Oracle Cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lisbeth. There are their full names if you want to check them out individually. There are some websites on the back here. She Who Is Art is what stops or jumps out to me. And the dice are the same dice. They're metal dice. They're from Amazon. So if there's anything on that, they're from Amazon. I don't think there's a specific website on there, is there? Just Amazon, D&D. So if you want to find metal dice, I use the 20, the 4, and the 12. The 20 is for the major arcana, which obviously it's missing number 21, which would be the world, if my brain is working. And then for the minor arcana, the 12 I use from ace up to knight. So it's missing the king and queen, but still works. And the 4 I use for which element it is. And I go in the order of the zodiac. So the first, since Aries is the first, I use fire for 1, earth for 2, air for 3, and then water for 4, in case you're wondering. Okay. Thank you for checking out this part, and now on to your read. Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them, but that being said, what do we have for Taurus? That's interesting. So weird how some of these come out. Okay. Huh. Interesting read. You've had definite disappointments in the past. I don't know if this is going to be shortcutting this or not, but you definitely have people in your past. For some of you, it may have been romantic partners. People definitely that you care about. Could be a sibling, could be a friend, relative, whatever. Even a coworker, whatever works for you. But you've worked through things with somebody else. You've compromised with somebody else. And you have not gotten the outcome you wanted. You've gotten the outcome that somebody else wanted. When this has happened, that person had to have been of high value to you for whatever reason. We're talking about when this has happened in the past, where things have not been a total loss, but they weren't the success that you wanted. And it might be something that every now and then kind of creeps into your brain, kind of for example, if it's a romantic connection, they convinced me that they wanted to live here in this house, and I didn't really want that one. I wanted that one over there. If they were like, no, this is the one I want, and we talked about it, went back and forth, and we bartered and traded and all this other stuff, and I gave in because I wanted them to be happy, and I thought, I can make it what I want it to be. And then over time, you're like, you know what? I really do wish I got that other house. As I've seen it over the years, this house, I've grown to not like it. That house, I really wish I had. And especially where I've seen where that house went, and how things went there, and other people who live over in that area, I really wish that we had done what I wanted to do versus what they wanted to do. And it might be a source of regret. A source of regret there. So, this could be coming around with either the same person or a same type of situation. So it may be the same person you've done this with before, where you've kind of compromised and gone their way, or it could be you've done this with somebody else and this is a whole new person, but this is a familiar feeling where this is I've done this compromise thing and it's not always gone the way I wanted it to. Because you're coming up to this fork in the road. Fork in the road is what I'm getting from the Three of Wands. You're going to be moving forward. The time is coming near. There's a possibility coming in that somebody else wants you to be a part of. Somebody else wants you to be a part of something with them. And it's something where you very much care about them. And you're like, okay, that sounds great. I really like them. I really love them. You probably really have strong feelings. And they're kind of like, look at this. Look at this, Taurus. I got this Ace of Wands here. We can do some stuff. Want to make this happen? This could be awesome. Let's do this. Come on. You can help me do this. You have a very, very, very strong bond with whoever this is. And they want things to move forward. The energy is moving forward. I feel like whatever's going on, the energy is moving forward one way or another. They're already heading in a direction. And it does look like it's kind of compatible to what you like. They want to include you, and it's compatible to you. This part is not the hard part, ironically, because I feel like you want to be a part of this. You're happy to be included. This is something you do want to be a part of at this point. It's where it's going next is what we got to talk about, is what I am getting. Because you got the Sun card. Whoever it is, you like them. You want to be a part of this. You want them to stay close to you. This is going to bond you even tighter. You're good with that. Okay, let's do that. There's going to come a point soon where there's a lot of possibilities that show up. A lot of possibilities, a lot of flavor, a lot of colors. I'm going to use the house analogy again. So say, in case it was the same person, the first time around, you were deciding where you wanted to live. You liked this one house. They liked this other one. You talked about it a lot. For whatever reason, you're like, I can make that work. That's what they really want, and you went their way. It wasn't like a really bad thing, but it wasn't what you really wanted. And then over time, you're like, you know what, I really wish we went for the other one. So now the new analogy would be, okay, now it's kind of like, all right, let's sell this house because we got to move for whatever reason, or we want to move. This house is too small for us, or this house is too big for us, or this where it is too noisy now, or whatever. Let's sell this one and go again, and let's find another house again. This is what they say don't do. This is the advice to not do. To not just go along with what the other person says or wants just because you want to keep them happy. Because there's this energy, you'd think this would be good, but I feel like you're going to have this tendency to be a little bit too agreeable. This is one of those moments where you need to choose what you want, and you need to slow this process down. The energy seems to flow. It's flowing pretty fast. It may be like you're used to the current. This situation can go a little bit too fast, but I feel like you're already up to speed, so you're not realizing how fast it is. They're saying don't keep swimming along with it. Don't just keep going because it feels good. Ironically, that's not going to work this time. Is there any other heads up? This seems so strange to me. Seems really strange to me. 5 of Cups reversed and the Empress, half in, half out. I feel like I'm giving in to somebody, but there's something here that isn't right. The 5 of Cups reversed makes me feel like there's changes coming up. There are changes coming up. And whatever you're making, it's like you're making the decision, and this would make total sense why you would do this. There's this, if things were going to play out the way they looked like they were going to play out, it would make sense to keep going this direction and going just with the flow, and this is what they want, and it seems like it would work, and it's not that big of a deal. I mean, we chose the house they wanted last time, and it was fine. It wasn't as good. It wasn't really what I wanted, but it was fine, and we made it work, and we had a lot of great memories there. This is the thought saying we're going to stay together for the longest time. So might as well do what they want, so that way they're happy. If they're happy, I'm happy. It's fine. There might be an upset coming up. And you might end up living in that house by yourself is what I'm getting. It's not really something expected, but that might be happening sooner rather than later. To make this go better, there's the first thing I'm getting is to slow it down. Slow the situation down. So for example, maybe you sell the house that you're currently in and then you put stuff in storage and you find like an apartment for the time being, or you rent a house for the time being. Slow the situation down and make sure that the next house, for example, for using that analogy, is one that you both love. You have to love it as much as they do. You can't just be like, well, they're okay. They like it. I can like it because they like it. It's fine. I'll make it work. I'll do this. There's going to be changes here. You both have to love it. If you slow it down, it'll be okay. You really need to slow this situation down, which seems like it's odd. It seems very odd to me that I'm saying this in a Taurus reading, because I feel like Taurus would naturally slow things down, but whatever is going on here, you seem to be flowing with it, going fairly quickly with it. It feels like it's fine, but I'm like, this situation needs to be slowed down because there's bumps in the road coming up. There's some fire coming up. There's some quick decisions that seem to be made. Things just kind of like working out and going fast, and there's some upsets coming up that are going to throw this situation off. If everything worked out as perfectly as you were hoping it would, I don't think it would be a problem, but there's going to be some disruptions coming. There's another card I have to show you that's kind of backing that up. Those two cards, these aren't bad cards, but like Knight of Cups coming in half out. Somebody else coming into the situation. The Tower card coming in. The Tower card coming in. And then I saw this too. Things are not what they seem is what I'm getting with the Magician in the Mirror. Because when I usually look at the Magician in the Mirror, it's like I take all the heat away from one side and put it in this side, and this side freezes, and this side has all the passion. That's kind of somehow, it's kind of like, what do you make, what's coming out of the situation based on what's happening next. Things are balancing whether we realize it or not. It's kind of like the turning of the seasons. The Tower card is coming later. They're saying if you slow it down, because things are going to come out of nowhere, things are going to just pop out of nowhere. And this Magician in the Mirror energy is just very much kind of like, what is really happening? What you see on the outside, what it seems like is going to happen versus what's happening behind you. Like the Magician's looking towards the ice, and the ice is kind of like, oh, that's fun. There's ice. There's not a problem. Meanwhile, the fire is right behind him and could catch him on fire at any second, and he actually is catching on fire. So, like, what's really going to happen versus what we want to happen? The advice for this is to slow this situation down. Slow it down. All you have to do is slow it down and go into that normal Taurus energy. It will work out okay. It'll be fine. If it goes forward the way it's naturally going, there's going to be a lot of problems that you don't want or need that are going to have to be sorted out. And it could be very, very uncomfortable if this reading is hitting. And I feel like it hinges on looking back and kind of going, there's been times where I've compromised and I've looked back and I've kind of regretted compromise. The thing is, you seem to be going into it again. They're saying, don't let yourself regret the compromise. This time, go with your gut. Slow it down. Because I feel like that's also like a gut feeling with you. You're going to kind of want to slow it down, but like, oh, I don't want to be the pain in the butt, or I don't want to cause a problem when there doesn't need to be a problem. Slow it down. Slow this situation down. The Ace of Wands, too, is like too much fire. There's like, it's got to, if you slow it down, the Tower will fall during that period of time, and then you get to make better decisions. Because kind of like, if you do it too quickly, it's like, and the Tower falls after you've made your decision, you're like, well, now I have to deal with this. I'm stuck with this. I bought this house, and now the roof fell in, so I have to fix it. I have to do all this stuff. I have to fix the foundation because something about the foundation made that happen. Versus, like, if I'm in between it and, like, the Tower falls, it's like, well, good thing I didn't buy that house because it just got wiped out, or we just had a tornado rip through the town, so now I don't have to worry about that because my money's still in the bank. I have stuff in storage still, so I just have to find where I want to go next. Hopefully that makes sense. Slow it down. That's the gist of it. That's the slow part. That's the easy part. Slow it down. And you'll be fine, which I'm blown away I'm saying that to a Taurus. Blown away, because usually Taurus can slow it up without much worry, but if you're already at a run, maybe that's why. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.